Okay, what's up? I'm Aaron. Welcome to my channel. This is a pretty cool day. I just hit 1,000 subscribers, so yeah. Some people will do like a Q&A. I wanted to do something a little bit different. So today we're doing a tour of my room, and yeah, hopefully you can get to know me a little bit better, see a little bit more in my head and in my space. So let's do it. It is the bedroom, so first thing we gotta talk about is bed. This guy, I'll come a little closer. This guy I got from a claw machine arcade my friend owns. It's called Kyoto Claw. It's in Hamilton in Ontario if you want to check it out. Bed frame I've had pretty much forever since we moved in. Beside the bed we've got quite a bit of different art that I've put up over the years. So we've got Pulp Fiction, classic movie. Got a Dali painting, this poster I got like in university. This one's a Banksy, same thing, like just some cool art that I got when I was in uni. I had about 1 million posters on my walls in uni, so like only a couple actually made it back home. These ones, shout out Home Sense. I used to have like a big tapestry here, but that was way too like frat guy, so I got these because, I don't know, I just like the vibe. Beside the bed, we've got my little bedside table. These are just the mics I'm using for this video. This is my sunrise alarm clock that I got a couple of years ago. Huge if you live in a country that has a lot of gloomy days or really bad winter. This is an awesome investment because it wakes you up with light. So it's meant to mimic the sunrise. So it actually gets you up and out of bed on those days when it's super dark when you wake up. So huge investment. I'll show you actually. Where's the... No. Oh, it's not even plugged in, never mind. And then this is like my running watch that I got. Like sometimes I'll wear it to track my sleep. I just got it like this week, so that stays there. Very particular about my sleep, so I also keep a eye mask and earplugs in bed too, because I need a good night's rest. Next important part of the room, probably the most important, is our desk here. This is my work setup. So as you can see, I've got my desk here from IKEA. Plenty of storage, plenty of space, and then I've also added this dresser, so I have double desk. Untouchable. Absolutely untouchable. This thing is like insanely handy for just keeping stuff out of my just out of view for me when I'm just working at the desk itself. As you probably noticed, I try to keep things tidy. I try to stay somewhat minimalist, but yeah, if this gets too cluttered, I start losing it. I can't focus properly, so I try to just keep everything clear so that there are fewer distractions for me mentally. Now, as you can see, I've got my laptop that I can put here. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll keep my laptop over here, hook it up with an HDMI to the monitor, and then I get my keyboard, my mouse there. Really nice, much more ergonomic setup. Yeah. And then of course the bookshelf here, I'll give you a closer look. We've got my own private mini library here. So when I got back from China / traveling last year, I was like, we're not gonna accumulate too much stuff. We're just gonna be conscious of what we're getting and whatever. And then somehow a bunch of books ended up on my bookshelf. I don't know how that happens. Pretty crazy. This is probably one of the few things that, even though I know it's kind of pointless to keep a bunch of books after you've read them, I still love having them. I still love the feeling of a book in your hands. So these are some of the ones that I couldn't say no to. There's The Creative Act, Rick Rubin. Unbelievable. This is like my Bible for YouTube or anything like design related. Like it's just so full of incredible, I guess, wisdom in any way. If you're a creative, 100% recommend that one. And then this one is one I'm reading right now. It's called Outlive. It's all about how to live longer and with better quality of life. So all the things you need to do to exercise, to eat right, to live a good life from a biological standpoint. So this is a really cool book. We've also got my Kindle. And I need to charge it. The Kindle is just unbelievable in terms of like, I mean, I love being able to read a physical book, but you can't beat an e-reader when it's time to actually do some traveling. So you gotta keep that stacked with plenty of books too. Here we've got just a bunch of random knickknacks. I've got like pens, pencils, little pencil holder my girlfriend got me from Iran. These are like some lenses that you can like put on your phone for filming. Random like travel adapter plug, tennis ball for when I'm running and I need to like massage my feet. Really useful for that. And then we've got a random weight that's been here since COVID times and gyms were closed. That's kind of crazy. That's been here for like 5 years. Okay. And put it right back, of course. Now, another reason I've kept my desk in the corner here is because of the huge window that I've got. Really lucky. I have an insane view of our backyard. We kind of live out in the country, so there's a lot of nature. As like with the changing of the seasons, you get the leaves changing or you get really nice snowfall, or just the summer is beautiful too. So I like being able to just like look up, look out at the nice view. It really makes your work go by a lot easier. Okay, I almost forgot. This is probably one of my favorite posters that I have. It's from the channel Kurzgesagt. They do a bunch of like science videos or like take big topics and make them small. So this is just a random infographic about black holes. Space is just cool. So I mean, why not? My girlfriend got me that. Next, we got this little corner here. This is where I've got my dresser. This is kind of all the stuff I need when I'm going out. This is where I keep all my stuff like AirPods, my chapstick, sunglasses, sunscreen, that kind of stuff. Like I said, I'm kind of like minimalism light, to be honest. Of course, you know, we got to keep that Marie Kondo method on. So all my shirts, all my everything, I keep organized in a way. I fold them so that I can see everything all at once. I find it just helps a lot when you can see all of your stuff rather than stacking it up one on top of the other. So right here, if I'm looking for a sweater, I can just pick that sweater immediately rather than sort through a pile. The next thing we've got is this cool wall over here. So this is the only painted wall, well, the only colored wall in the whole room. I kind of wanted like one accent wall, but to keep the rest of things kind of bright. So this is the one thing that kind of like grounds everything and like pops a little bit. Also got some cool posters here from mostly uni. So this one, we got A$AP Rocky over here. This one, I don't even know what it is, but it just like looked cool, so I was down. Joey Badass over here, All American Badass, one of the best albums ever. Same, this, I just liked it. And then we've got Tyler over here, GOAT. This is also where I just keep my exercise mat when I feel like it, or when I want to do some yoga or stretching or something. I can just roll it out right here, and that's the perfect space for me to be able to do a little workout or stretching or whatever I need. Okay, last part of the tour, this is my closet. Basically, I mean, like I said, I like to keep things clear on my desk, on my dresser, on my everything. Any clutter I have kind of gets tossed in here. So this is pretty much the black hole of my room. Right now it's not too bad because I tidied up a little bit before shooting this. I mean, I gotta pretend I have some class, right? So now most of this is pretty standard stuff here. Just got all my clothes organized there. We got a little shoe rack down there, you know? Most of the closet is pretty normal, but I think what most people are gonna be wondering is, what is this massive graph that you keep on your door? A couple of years ago, I read this book called Your Money or Your Life. Basically, it's all about, you know, finding what's important to you in your life, organizing your finances around your lifestyle, and trying to reach your goals financially. One of the strategies it recommended was to track your amount of income, the amount you are spending, and then how much, if you were to take all of your savings and invest it at the risk-free rate, if you invested them all today in like bonds or something like that. So basically this is me tracking all of that data. The reason I'm using this instead of some Excel spreadsheet is pretty much out of sight, out of mind. So in sight, in mind, you know? If you've got a spreadsheet in your computer that you never really look at, you're not gonna be motivated to continue putting energy into saving, into, you know, doing things that are more financially responsible. So by making this huge dramatic chart and putting it somewhere visible that I see every day, it reminds me of moving towards my goals. So that's kind of the reason for it. I haven't updated it in a little while, but you kind of get the point. So that pretty much wraps up the tour of my room. Again, want to thank everybody for 1,000 subscribers. You're awesome. I appreciate every single one of you. Hopefully you got to know me a little bit better through this video and maybe got a couple ideas for your own room. If you're not subscribed, I'm gonna put a subscribe button over here, and then this is the video that YouTube thinks you want to watch next, so watch it. I mean, YouTube's pretty smart. You should probably, you know, I don't know. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.